Okay, this is the unstoppable British pound. Got an entry signal here, not signal, but entry point based on the 15-minute chart yesterday. Looking at the this 15-minute top bottom, you can see it on the 15, and you can see it on the 30. This top became a bottom, but you can't really see it on the 1 hour. So, but you have a top bottom I bought here. I bought this top, became a bottom right here. So I'm expecting a big drama. And we got about, I guess the news is coming out right now. So here we go. I got sell orders way up in here. I'm looking for a major spike. So I'm going to sell 34 pips north of here. I'm expecting an insane drama up to 170. So I'm long the pound right now. I mean, I was long and now I'm short. So I immediately just went, took profits. Now if we go to the 5-minute, and I'm expecting it to slam in both directions actually. Let's take a look at this. Gold's taking out the low of yesterday right now. And the dollar index is, okay, so now I'm up on this trade. Looking for it to come, and my take profit is down here. Back to the beginning of the story. Let's go 1-minute chart. You can see the top bottom here where we left the station on the 1-minute. If you place the pending here, this double top becomes a bottom, and there's a adorable little triple top here, becomes a bottom. So if your buy limit was right there and your broker had a tight enough spread, you got filled on this one. This would be a trailing buy limit, and this would be a trailing buy limit, and this would be a shoulder, head, shoulder, shoulder, shoulder. If you go to the 5-minute, you can see everything still holds together. You don't have to move these guys too much. This becomes a double bottom. And if you did a triangle pattern on here, it would look like this. You draw these two tops. So here's your triangle. It's kind of shallow. You make it a little more triangulish looking. So if you can see this trend line, this resistance becomes support. You know, I also have to draw one here though. Okay, I'm about to cash out of this. It's coming back to earth. They've had their fun. Here comes the sellers. My take profit is right about here, but I can get out at any time, of course, right? This is a 1-minute chart, British pound. We just cleaned house up into the, if you look at the monthlies, well, we attempted to go after this high. We took out this high, but there's a high way up in here that looks like it's a little out of reach. I don't know if we're ever going to make it up to this one. This would be the, that's the high from 2009, August 1. And here's the 2009, November 1. But this, finally, this British pound came and healed that giant abyss there up in the pivot. But I think it's time to sell it. It just doesn't look like it's going to hit the 170 here. It's not the most, you know, there was some great scalps in this, but I must say, this has got to be the rockiest road to the north I've ever seen. I mean, look at this poor thing. For God's sakes, people. But here's the entries. If you can see them. This top became a bottom. You would have had to have a buy limit there. A buy limit on this top. Became a bottom. Became a bottom. You just maybe didn't get filled on this guy. But that was definitely the place to get in. And the short side, the place to get in is the top of this trend line projection, you're already speculating that you want to sell that top. Comes back a little bit. You get clobbered on that. But the new projection is to come in like this, because you know this top to this top exists. See, but I think it's going to blow through. It's one of those things. It's that kind of market. So I'm looking to sell either way. You know, I mean, I'm selling. In other words, it's got to get there on time, though. So here, I'll sell another 34 pips north. And one of the ordered banks just disappeared. So if you drop these you're basically trolling for money here. You're trying to net pips based on time frame. So if I put in an aggressive here, sell 10 pips in 15 minutes. Now this is very aggressive. This market, I'm risking for the next 15 minutes, I have an order bank that sells 10 pips above where we're at. So I'm asking the market to go retest that and then come back. So here's where I'm at with the account right now. And this is my short, and this is a sell limit that just got filled that I just dropped on the 15 there. So, and I tried to create names here that describe what the script's doing. So this is the library I created just based on these are mostly all retrace concepts. There's not, I don't use any stop entries because I'm trading the market maker style. So I'm trading against the retail traders. Where they're getting stopped out, I'm getting stopped in. I'm getting limited in. So I'm trading on time decay too. So this is this order bank here got filled right after I dropped it. But there's still about 13 minutes of orders left on a bank. So if I looked up this script in here, it's going to look like this. If I modify this, it's going to be at least 3 orders in there. I typically put at least 3 in there because I'm kind of using a shotgun approach to the market here. Now here's the there's only 3 in this one, and a pretty light entry. That's a 10,000, 2,000. I mean, that's a progressively gets larger the higher it goes. So when you're 44 pips north, you're going to sell a 30,000. So you have a 10,000, a 20,000, a 30,000, and you could actually describe this whole range here into this comment line, but I try to keep it kind of simple. All right, so now I'm short on this thing. This is none of these were markets. These were all limit entries. So we just have to wait for this to retrace. I have a close all profit button if by the top of the hour, say I'm not out of it and I just want it to be a scalp because I'm looking at the 5-minute chart, I could just close all profits, you know. And if it doesn't fill me on my take profits, which if I wait to the top of the hour, then I capture that profit. And this is just as hard as like at this point, the problem is, do you take the money and run, or do you let it come back to the starting gate? Or, you know, in a fast market, you can go the 1-minute chart. If we come down to this and I'm not out, I think one of my take profits is this line. But if we don't come out at that point, I think my take profits are actually down here because I don't see the thing flashing. This should start flashing when this take profit is from a different entry. And another thing here is I had to turn off the colors for the entry because this is the entry price, the volume, because there's too many lines on the screen. Okay, so it looks like they're going to ram it up again. But now, actually, since I'm not in that heavy right now, And that would have been my moment to exit on the 1 minute chart. Like if you didn't get out here on the retest on the 1 minute chart, you missed that exit. But if you're not in too big on this trade yet, in other words, if you still got more sell orders here, which these are actually all the stops and the limits for the take, these all take profits and stops showing up because it turned off the entry price. So where it says sell limit, there's no line because I went to no line, zero, none. And that just cuts down on all the distracting lines, because when you trade in blanket orders like this, they're just monstrous layers and stuff. You can hardly see anything. Here's some stop orders that I did right. Like I said, I could trade this style, but it just annoys the hell out of me to overpay and underpay and to overpay and underpay for things that move. So I'd rather trade, like, here's a silver spike, because I did trade silver on this account. That's a whole different, you know, you have to do a whole different numbers series because you're in a different world now. This was so here, if I put in a sell, I want to sell about in 1 hour 40 pips north to 88 pips with 120 pip stop. So that's what that looks like. Now that's 1 hour capture up into the round handle. I didn't really plan it out like that. I'm just kind of like, you know, when you're making a pizza, you're not exactly getting it perfect, you know. This is like making pizzas, you know. This is like owning a pizza shop. So, you know, the idea that you're going to get out a fib tool and cut your pizza into slices, you know, step away from the fib tools, please, you know. This is trading's for dumb people, okay? So if you need to get a beer, whatever it takes for you to just calm down and see that what you're trying to do is make money on both sides of this thing. So when the market goes through these up and down dramas, like if you look at this thing and the landscape of this chart on the half hour, this is really not brain surgery. Like this is probably going to be a wick here. If we close here by the top of the hour, top of the hour here, I think this is going to be, if you have the patience to wait. And now, if I don't get my profits taken, I probably will dump this at the top of the hour, just because it's not worth it to me to sit in this thing and give up any profits, because it's just you know, it's just not worth it. I mean, there's so many more times I can re-enter this. Like right now, it's forming a triangle in the 1 minute, so I probably tempted to actually take profits right now as we're sitting right here, because I got so many other trades I could take right now, and this does look like it's going to go up again. So I have here's my take all profit button. So I'll just get out here, and being flat is still trading, because I have so many pendings that are sitting there waiting to get filled, that my exposure for the next 15 minutes to whatever I choose here. Now these Bigfoot orders I put in last night before I went to sleep, these last for 8 hours, and they're very wide spectrum, like 75 to 150 pips with, say, a 200 pip stop. So and then they get pretty hefty, actually. These are get bigger progressively, so diversification in size and diversification in time. So here's like the 30 minutes, and I have exposure to buy the dollar should it spike down. Here's a Swiss about to get filled on the 4 hour, so that's a pending order that let's set it and forget it trading. I could look at the chart, but it's not going to change my entry concept technique of buy low, sell high, which is like the only way I've been able to make money, and sell high, buy low. So here's the pending bank on the Swiss, waiting to get filled. Come back to the apex of this triangle. This is a classic pattern in the market, is this big controversy here, where we finally resolve this triangle to the upside, becomes the ultimate retest zone, and it could retest and actually take it out now and come all the way back into But I think the dollar looks like to me one of the better. I'm hedging that against. Of course, I guess I'm looking for one last gust of wind on the euro dollar and the British pound. If the euro dollar can make it to 139 and fail to go to the this, I just did like a scalpers roll over here where it's like this is a 15-minute top bottom chart, and that would be all the order entries there. So I'm just gonna start. Well, I'll go to half-hour chart on the euro dollar, but euro dollar, same thing. Yesterday got a triangle here and broke out and closed above the this big deal. So that was your double top, blows through it. This was the this is pretty easy to trade this thing because there's so many people trading it. So here's your window. There's your pivot window there. Here's the entry here. This is the hillbilly trade. You know, buy right there. Okay, what in tarnation? Nothing against hillbillies. But go to the 1 hour chart here and you can see more of this hillbilly trading. Where you have your orders right around here. Definitely at the 38. Dow 38. But not only there but below. I think it's critical is this below area where we probe into the bilge here. All these wicks in here, pretty low risk zone. It's only about 10 pip window. Pretty stupid. Look back here. Support again. Go to the 4 hour. Gee willikers, that's a real big pivot. Look at all these. This is the big breakout. Come back, retest. Come back. Gee, it almost looks like a kind of a pattern there. Yeah, this is the accumulation phase. If we're going to go up and fill this hole, which I think we're definitely destined to just keep climbing. But on the way there, look at all this sideways. In other words, had you bought here, say you bought here, right, and you're here now, what does that mean? It means you spent 2 damn weeks in this market and you're down 2 pips right now. And you're like, wait a second. Bought here, I had a buy signal, and I've been in the trade 2 weeks and it's at the same price. And I'm trading because I want to make money. Well, that's why range trading makes more money until it doesn't range anymore. And then you blow up your count because you're trying to sell on top of a range and now it goes into trend mode. So, you know, that's the problem, right? Like this move here is the big thing that blew up the range traders, because all the range traders were trading this range and just living it up, right? They would sell there, they would buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell, and then oopsie daisy, this big hole up here that's been forming, this vacuum up in here, this hole had to be filled. And then this hole has to be filled. And now maybe this hole has to be filled. The hole that exists all the way up there. Okay. And now I'm looking at the British pound selling off here, so trying not to torture myself with I coulda, woulda, shoulda here, but go look at my British pound situation. Okay, looks like I just got filled on something here. Alright, just some of the orders just deleted. No, nothing came in on that, so okay, let me go to the okay, here's a 4-digit broker. That's it's all different world. But same concept here. I'll place some sell orders here. Actually, got filled on this sell order. I didn't even see what happened here, but I think This one got in a little bit too kind of not the best price for the moment, but it may turn out to be a good trade. I just kind of dropped that. Like I said, these orders here, it made the criteria. Apparently, this might have been a 4-hour bank, so this was actually a 2-hour. So that was a 2-hour. I can tell that. Now I didn't know if I had to go out and get more coffee, so I put this 2-hour order in, and I almost did break even. I could probably bail if I wanted to. I guess I'm looking at the 15. Yes, I could wait till the top of the hour and then just get out with a small profit. Or if you're looking at the daily, you're like, wow, that's not a bad entry. I mean, we could definitely come back 50 pips if you're looking at the daily. So all this stuff is pretty much, if you're used to doing at least 20 trades a day automatically, you can definitely plenty of opportunity to pick up a bunch of winning trades. I mean, for God's sakes, man. I mean, this market can go down and up like this, or up and down. I mean, there's just piles of money here. So this one hasn't quite maxed out, but now it's time to start to think about selling this. So my trade plan for the next hour is going to look like pretty retarded simple. I would sell here 18 pips for 2 hours because I might go to sleep. And I don't want to have to keep coming in here. So this will last until 8 o'clock, or actually these will actually run exactly that time frame. And then on the British pound, I want to sell more. I would say in 4 hours, if it can move in 2 hours, if we move 25 pips, that looks like a good sell. I don't think that's outrageous. And here, if I go for 3 hours for another 10 pips in 3 hours, so I'll layer them in. So I'm curve fitting a top. This bracket's from 35 pips to 85 pips north with a 100 pips stop. It lasts 3 hours. Well, and you can always put these into a hotkey keyboard. Save yourself the drama of dragging and dropping. Now here is 34 pips in 4 hours. So this would cover the same zone, but this is going to last 4 hours. So that's a big set and forget it. Now, if you get stopped out at an order bank, and most of these have a master stop. So the concept is here that you're going to get blown out of this order bank and be proved wrong that this is not the top, or this whole front running the market to the upside is not the actual top. It's still running the orders. Okay, so it's done. Slowest broker on the planet, but you just gotta love them because it's 4 digits. So here's your top bottom here. It's a little not perfect because the market's not perfect, but if you can see this top bottom, and then that was when they had to pick up more buyers. Like everybody saw this coming, and there just wasn't enough buyers to board the train, so they had to rip it back to this top, this double top. Didn't get that. That's why I trade windows. I mean, I tried a 50 pip window there easily, but same here on the upside. So if I got stopped out of here, there's a master stop like here and kind of here. Let me turn off this color for the oh, it is turned off. Oh well. And then in other words, I would throw another order bank up in here that lasts like all day. Now this one, now you can do an 8-hour sell, but this is like the like here's 4 hours, 100 pips, right? This is 100. This sells 100 to 200 with a 250 pip stop. This is pretty crazy. And hopefully, I haven't dropped that in a while because you don't normally get the market move that much. So here they come in, and this is kind of a progressive stop. This is not a hard stop. Like that last sell limit has a tight stop on it. It's a pretty big order. But these are big orders here. But that means it's got to spike to, $1.71 in 4 hours. I don't think so. But if it does, it'd be a great trade because it'll look like this move here was just like blam, and that's about 200 pip smash back. So I don't think it's going to happen. That's a daily chart, for God's sakes, and there's a 4-hour chart. So if this is the 4-hour chart and each bar is 4 hours, you can see how much we can move. We can move 50 pips in 4 hours, no problem. So that's why, realistically, if you want to trade kind of aggressive here, can the market move in 30 minutes? Can it move 18 pips above current price to 40 without going above 60? Your stop. So you place that order in. And in these short-term trades, you can get very aggressive. This little red guy's the stop. Here comes the order bank. And here's the trade that I'm in on the pound. Top of the hour is coming. I have the choice here now if I'm going to trade on the clock, which, if you're going to time the market, I think it only makes sense that you want to trade on the clock. So if you go to the 1-hour chart and you assess it, you say, you know what? Oof, maybe I just get out here at break even in 30 seconds and just say, you know what? I got in at a bad price. I mean, that 2-hour order bank was a little aggressive. I dropped it when we were here. Like I said, it's a shotgun trade. Okay, I'm up on the trade now. Just wait one more minute. So it's actually, I think that's a minute left. Yeah, this markets really do move right on the clock. So actually I could take one of these guys off and sit tight, and even though they could be the best, this could be the top of the market for the year, there's still another place to get in. So you could sit here and take this big guy off. Okay, got it 50 seconds here. Yeah, if I can get to like 12 on this, I'll just nail this guy and then wait. Okay, I'm getting out of that one, and then this one I'm just going to wait till the top of the hour. Another 30 seconds. Scalp out of this one, and then just be flat into the next drama phase. And if this one's a winner, then, the genius all day long, right? Okay, 20 seconds, and then just, I guess this is the discipline part, because nobody wants to, if this is the top of the year, you're going to say, I wish I could have, should have, but you just have to admit that you have a criteria that needs to be met. And okay, so I'm just going to nail it right here at top of the hour, and blammo, because now it could just go rocketing up. And that's the 1-hour chart, and that's going to be what people would call a pin bar, but for me that was the whole trade. Now if I go to the 5 minutes, maybe that was the only chance to get the hell out on the short side, and now it's going to go up for another blast. So now I'm thinking, let's sell into that, and I'm going to give this a 25 pips in an hour. Or how about, let's sell, I've already dropped these two, so you got to keep track of what you dropped, or you will blow up the account. I don't see another, so I walk away from this. I've already got sell orders in there. I have to wait 2 hours now, or I can go out and get drunk, come back. So let me go check out, walk down the street to the next currency drama. So this, I was looking to sell this, but I am looking to buy this too, because this is my next entry, is this top become a bottom here. So let's just take a look and throw in some, now these are my 30-minute orders. And I put these on a hotkey keyboard because these I'm dropping all the time, just trolling for scalps. Now this is coming in. It's a blanket order, there's probably 3 in there. Okay, now I'm going to come in aggressively on the buy side here, because this looks like a classic pullback to me. There's the 1 hour chart. I'm going to place 15 minutes on these guys, and this should come in about 10 pips tight. Okay, here's the first buy limit right here, and this is a trend trade script, so the take profits are up in here and the entries are right here at this top becoming bottom. And here is a, if they do a retrace, this is a retrace style. So on the keyboard, I decided which one, the first order is going to be the trend trade, and then the second is going to be a retrace bounce trade. So I'm trading two styles, and if I overlap the styles, of course, this strategy only lasts for 15 minutes. Now, this could last for an hour, and I have to go to the other keyboard that's set up for the 1 hour. So here's a 1 hour entry. This is now this one I know exactly that I have a 1 hour and 2 hour button. And so this is my pre-programmed stuff where if I come over here like this, it's all going to be custom drops. And so here's my here's my entries here. We have to make it there in 15 minutes, so we got to get this high drama pullback to occur. And here's the British pound exit. It was a good thing I got out because this is the new pivot. Wow, this is more hillbilly trading, because that's the round number there, and you just get in there, you know. Like I said, no brain, no pain. You want to drink. Don't drink and drive, but drink and trade as much as you can. And always go for high quality drinks. Here's the top, just became a bottom. On the 15, and maybe on the 30, if you go to the 30, not so much. On the 15, I decided a 15-minute chart is about as thin as you can slice this stuff. Okay, I feel like this is going to be the trade of the day. 25 pips north for 30 minutes. I would love to see a psychodrama spike on the pound here and capture this thing coming back to planet Earth. So this was the last chance to go on the long train, which I'm not trading from the long side right now because you know, I've got like here, I could get on the long train here on the euro. I don't want to place too many orders in here. So if we come back for a retest here, this will be a 30 minutes. And here's a trend trade based one. And here's the 15-minute, and there's going to be the other 15 trend style. So that's a half-hour exposure here. And you're looking to capture this this pullback into the, if you go to the 15, which is about as thin as you can slice this stuff. So it's got to come back to this triangle here in the next 15 minutes, which, I don't know, looks like this thing's just off the races. This is the breakout of the triangle yesterday. And I guess the only entry would be if it comes back into here. But I'm actually, my aggressive entry is here. This is the one that's kind of the closest to the market. And the rest of the stuff is kind of based on expecting one of these psycho spikes, because inside of every script I've put in, instead of getting stopped out here, I'm capturing that swing. So that's my story, sticking to it.